Just an hour before kickoff, Montana State announced a laundry list of injuries, but despite the setback, they keyed in on the mentality of next man up. And as the saying goes, offense can win you games, but defense sends you to the national championship. It was a chilly Saturday in Bozeman, but inside Bobcat Stadium, Montana State's defense was bringing the heat. On 4th and 1 on the Bobcats' 7-yard line, Isaiah Davis tries to convert for the Jackrabbits, but Troy Anderson wraps him up, and it's a turnover on downs to begin quite the drive for Montana State. With 5 to go in the first, Jackrabbits are closing in on Malott, but he finds a hole and gets loose down the field for a 21-yard pickup in first down. 2 snaps later, Malott keeps it once again, but Isaiah Stahlberg comes up big for South Dakota State and knocks the ball loose. However, just wait, because it ends up back in the hands of Tommy to keep the drive alive. Now with 3:40 to go, Malott drops back to look downfield and airs it out right into the hands of Nate Stewart, who hits the gas all the way to the end zone for a 64-yard touchdown. Bobcats up 7. However, it doesn't take long for the Jackrabbits to answer back on the Bobcats' 44. Pierre Strong Jr. takes the handoff, and he is gone past the 30, the 20, and it's a 44-yard house call. Don't count out the Bobcats just yet, though, because not even 5 seconds later, it's Malott to McCutcheon, the Montana connection, for a 40-yard gain to eventually set up this 27-yarder by Blake Glessner. But with 7 to go, Chris Oladukin drops back in Bobcat territory and finds Jason Janke, who's nearly brought down, but dives in for the score for their first lead of the day. However, leave it up to touchdown Tommy to get the Bobcats back on top. After the fake, Malott finds Trayton Pickering down the field for this 33-yard pickup, and to cap off the drive, a 4-yard keeper by Mr. Malott himself. Jacks find themselves midfield with 3 to go in the half and send out their kicker for the 51-yard attempt. That's Cole Fromm from deep, but he boots it with ease to tie it at 17 as time expires. Picking up at the end of the third, it's 1st and goal for Montana State. Tommy Malott takes the snap and powers his way through a pack of Jackrabbits, and that's a 3-yard score. With the Cats back on top, the party continued on defense. South Dakota State's Chris Oladukin begins to scramble deep in their own territory and gets brought down by Amondre Williams for a loss of 7. And then 2 plays later, he's picked off by Simeon Woodard, who returns at 22 yards to the Jacks' 40. At this point, it's just poetry in motion for the Cats, because what do you know? It's touchdown Tommy once again to McCutcheon for the 17-yard touchdown to take over this game 31-17. Jacks find themselves desperate for a first down the following drive, but on 4th and 5, Daniel Hardy wraps up Oladukin to end the drive. And 3 minutes later, Oladukin gets hit with a little deja vu, because it's Hardy once again with a big takedown to knock the ball loose. Jacks would recover but couldn't convert. The Cats would win big at home 31-17. And the Bobcats will head down to Frisco, Texas for the national championship against North Dakota State, which is set for January 8th. In Bozeman, Ashley Washburn, MTN Sports.
Now that we've seen the highlights, let's get to what head coach Brent Vigen and players had to say about their big victory over South Dakota State. And you better bet that they were feeling sky high.
We were facing a really good program that in many ways was a mirror of ourselves, and we would have to outplay them. We'd have to outrush them. The turnover margin would have to go our way. And ultimately, we would just have to fight harder. And I think we did all those 3 things. What can you say about Tommy Malott and his performance? Obviously the guys on the other end, Lance and Nate in particular, making plays. Defensively, we certainly gave up some things. We didn't tackle as well as we'd like in that first half, but our guys, I think, at halftime recognized what they needed to do and came out second half and did it. And once we got that lead, I think we were able to continue to keep their quarterback off balance and, certainly made them one-dimensional, which with that team is huge. I thought by the time we got to the summer, we had the makings to do this. So it's hard. It's hard to get here and take advantage of these opportunities. So to get there with one game left to play, it's where you want to be, and we're there, and now we got to go make the best of it.
We knew that, our best running back was out, but, we trusted what was going on. We trusted the guys up front. We trusted the coaches, and ultimately we just were going to go out there and do what we were told. So, it was just being detailed and giving our best.
It's awesome. We talk about, it's one of our goals each year to go undefeated at home, and to be able to win your last home game with it being the last one you possibly can play, being the semifinal. It means a lot. We've been working for this, like Tommy said, for 2 years with our season that was taken away from us in 2020.
And they were packing the stands, didn't care. They were here to support us. Best crowd, best stadium, best in the FCS.
At Bobcat Stadium, John Miller, MTN Sports.
There was also action on the wrestling mat today as a wrestling tournament was held at CMR High School in Great Falls. At 5:30, we brought you highlights of the early matches. Since then, the championship matches have been held. Here's MTN's Dylan Foreman.
Dylan Foreman here for the final matches of the CMR Holiday Classic Wrestling Tournament as we finally reached the end, so it's time to crown some champions.
We'll get the party going at the 170 championship matches. Havers, Orion, T-Ridge battling Paolo Salmonen and Billings Skyview. T-Ridge doing his best to stay alive, but Salmonen keeps coming as he wins 13-5 after keeping up the attack through all 3 rounds. We go over to the 205 class where we got a good battle between Great Falls High's Brendan Lockhart and Glasgow's Kyler Halleck, as Lockhart was able to stay alive just barely, but Halleck with multiple near pins and 2-point moves earns him plenty to take first, winning 16-5. At 120, Lily Grismer from Cascade taking on Bryn Brower from Billings Skyview. Grismer struggled early, down 2-3, but in the second round switches position and gets to the top half to complete the pin. We go to the 113. Still on the girls' side as Great Falls High, Kaylin Taylor takes on Graceland Hansen of Billings Senior. Taylor looking for a way in on the inside. She finds it and completes the pin, winning in the first round. To round out our coverage at 126 for the girls, Sims Lily Schubarth taking on Hannah Halverson of Flathead, and the Braves girls program shows why they are a force to be reckoned with. Halverson finishes with a pin. That's all from the CMR Holiday Classic. Full highlights will be on montanasports.com. In Great Falls, I'm Dylan Foreman, MTN Sports.